Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to talk to you about these clear ETS magazines, and what I have been finding out lately is that they are not fully compatible with the Palmetto PX-9s. Okay, I have about 30 magazines in total. I started off with 35, but I lost a few. All right, and what's happening, right, with the PX-9s is as the bolt goes forward, okay, it rubs against the feed lips and it shaves these magazines down, right? You can see how on this side over here that's a little bit more worn. If I put a round in there, you can see how there's a little bit more space on this side, you know, as that feed lip has been worn down. And the problem with this is that it makes it unreliable. The bullets will sometimes nose up. They won't do it every time. They'll do it sometimes, okay? So you can see if I push up on this, you see how that wants to pop up, right, as I push up on it, okay? By contrast, right, here's another magazine. This one is a lot newer. It only has, I would say, maybe 30 or 40 rounds through it, right? You can see how this one is a lot tougher, okay? It won't pop up. It still shows some wear on the feed lips, so even with the low round count of, you know, whatever, 100 rounds through this or something like that, right? Because I think I only used this one time, so it probably only has 33 rounds that have gone through this magazine. You can see how there's a little bit of wear on the feed lips, and also the back of the follower looks like it's been hit. It gets clipped at the back as the bolt goes forward of the PX-9. But because this one's not so worn out, you can see if I push on it, it doesn't, you know, the bullet doesn't nose up. Whereas with any of these other magazines that show a lot more wear, if I push up on it, you can see how that bullet easily wants to pop up. Right? Yep, that one just went right up. Okay, so this is going to cause you reliability problems as your feed lips wear. Now, I've noticed it is primarily just the PX-9s, and I have 3 of them here, so I've had a chance to actually test this on 3 different ones. And when I put the magazine in and I run the bolt forward, I can see how it's actually hitting the follower and pushing down on it. Okay, you know, and that's going to do it with every single one. Okay, as the bolt goes forward, it hits the follower. It's rubbing on the feed lips. And of course, this is happening on the last round. Okay, with the pistols, right? That doesn't seem to be happening because, first of all, in your last round, the gun's gonna lock open. Okay, so because the gun's locking open on the last round, it doesn't get to hit the follower and do damage to that. Although it probably is eating at the feed lips a little bit, but it doesn't seem to be as, you know, I mean, it's hard to tell on this, but when I push this forward, I don't see the follower moving. Okay, that's the P80. Same deal here. As I move this back and forth, I don't see it moving the follower as it goes forward. It may or may not be hitting the feed lips. It's hard to tell. By contrast, here I have a whole box of KCI magazines. These are 10 years old. They've got like thousands and thousands of rounds through each one of these. You know, over the 10 years that I was shooting these, the springs have gotten really weak on these, right? So if I just push down on the spring here like this, you know, especially this one over here is really weak. I can feel that. You know, if I compare that to the ETS magazine, yeah, the ETS magazine's a lot stronger. So these springs have definitely weakened over 10 years of shooting. However, the feed lips are still in really good condition. So if I push up on it, even after 10 years of shooting and thousands of rounds, it does not lift up. So I really like the clear design of the ETS. This is really convenient for training people, because a lot of times as I'm traveling around, what happens is I'll tell people, I want you to load 6 rounds in the magazine, or 10 rounds in the magazine, or whatever, or 3 rounds in the magazine, and people can look at them really fast and they know exactly how many rounds they have in there. When I was using the KCIs, a lot of times people couldn't tell. And mind you, these are all beginners. These are new shooters, you know, so they you know, they don't know that, hey, you got to push down on these a little bit so you can see them move a little bit. So it kind of slowed down the whole training a little bit. A lot of times I used to I ended up just going over there and looking myself to see how many rounds they put in there. So once I started using the ETS ones, it kind of sped things up a little bit. That's why I like these so much. But at this point, I'm seeing that these are not very durable. Okay, the feed lips and the followers are getting eaten up on these in the way that's not happening with the KCI ones. And what I'm thinking is, you know, first of all, I did contact ETS. I've been talking with them over the last month or two regarding this issue, and they agreed that I can send them back all these magazines, and they said that they would either give me my money back, right, or replace the magazines with the understanding that they are not compatible with my Palmetto PX-9s. Okay, so that's their words, and it's not just one; it's all of them. So this is an issue with the Palmetto PX-9s. I don't think it's an issue with the guns; it's an issue with the magazines not being compatible with the guns. With the if I take the KCI and I stick it in here, and I run this back and forth, I mean, I can see it is hitting the follower a little bit. So it's definitely hitting the follower, but the thing is that it is also rubbing. I'm sure it's rubbing on the feed lips, but these are steel feed lips. So because these are steel feed lips, these are going to last a lot longer. Okay, so having metal feed lips with the metal PX-9s, you know, is a big deal. So what would be ideal is a hybrid design like these Lancers, which they have the clear body so I can see what's in there, and then they have the steel feed lips. I wish Lancer would make you know, Glock compatible magazines. But going forward, you know, for me, I need these ETS magazines because I'm training people, and you know, time is more valuable than the cost of the magazines. So it's a lot more convenient for me to be able to throw these clear magazines to people, and have people, you know, quickly see how many rounds they have in there. But for most of you guys watching this video, okay, you're gonna want magazines, I think, that are gonna last longer. Okay, and the KCI ones are going to last longer because they have the steel feed lips. And here's the thing: it's important for me to be able to get cheap magazines. You know, both of these magazines are basically in the $10 per magazine category. The Glock, you know, factory ones are like $30. And yeah, great, you should have a few of those, but you know, when I train people, for you guys, you want to have enough magazines to be able to stash them in a lot of different places, be able to throw them out to other people that might need them when they need them. So it's really important to be able to buy cheap magazines that you really don't care that much if you lose it, you know, if you give it away to somebody, or if it gets lost in the woods or whatever. So you need that $10 per magazine option. So long term, I think the KCI is a much better choice with the steel feed lips. It's just going to last a lot longer. These ETS ones are great for what I do, where I'm training people and I need people to be able to look at them really quickly and know how many rounds they're in there. But for most of you guys, I think the durability part is going to be more important to you than being able to look at these really fast and see how many rounds you got in there. So I just wanted to put that out there. So I consider these ETS now not fully compatible with the PX-9s, and it's not just my words. That's what ETS told me. They said that this is, you know, they said if I took a replacement shipment, if I was willing to accept the replacement, they would give me 30 replacement magazines, with the understanding, they said, that it is not compatible with my PX-9s. So that's where it's at. That's what they said. So I hope you guys found this video useful. If you're not a member of the channel, please subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.